And in fact, that pace of advance has accelerated dramatically over the course of the last 3 months since September. And, that's why we're seeing the West so panicked when it comes to trying to get negotiations to save Ukraine.
Yeah, but because whenever I'm in a debate with someone, they always bring up this idea that no, the Russians aren't winning. Look at the slow move. By this pace, it will take decades and decades before they even reach the Dnieper. I mean, this is kind of the logic there.
Yeah.
Well, either this is stupidity or it's dishonesty, because at the same time they do recognize that this is a war of attrition. So why would Russia waste a lot of manpower and equipment just storming well fortified lines, taking all these casualties, when at the end of the day that would only result in a loss? Because this isn't primarily about territory. It's not like you get a city and then the war is over. It's going to be a war of attrition where you destroy the enemy's military. So this whole idea that the Russians would continue on the same pace, it doesn't really make any sense. It's a poor indicator in an attrition warfare. You want to measure casualty numbers. And if you see what's happened over the past almost 4 years, the Ukrainians have run out of manpower. There's massive shortage. The military equipment, all of NATO has emptied their weapon storages, burned through that as well. And the desertions are increasing, morale, and also all of this hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers used to be well armed in well fortified positions. Now those fortifications are now behind the Russians' back. They've taken those, and so in front of them there's no more fortifications. There's fewer and fewer Ukrainian soldiers. Those they have, many of them are just dragged out of their homes and sent to the front without much training. So you have now reports of mass desertion. Meanwhile, the Russians have built up and continue to build up an even larger fighting force. And so they're stronger now than at the beginning of the war. So, I mean, this is the metric. So you're going to see the Russian advances now increase dramatically. In the casualties on the Ukrainian side also increase dramatically as defensive lines collapse, communication collapse. But 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 this is all just brushed aside and said, no, well, they walk this slow in the first 3 years. That means they're going to do the same in the next 3 years. I can't make up my mind if this is stupidity or dishonesty, but
I think it's more likely stupidity and just lack of, they're not good analysts.